What if Katsuki was wrong and the past can't be changed? I could change it by ringing the doorbell right now, but that's not something I want to do. Why the fuck not? Doesn't me constantly not want to do things that change the past indicate that it can't change?
No. Literally write him a note and then and have the note say, this is a weird request, but when you meet me in the hospital, say this code phrase. Like, how hard is it?
I would just ring the doorbell right now.
Well, yeah, of course, that would be easier.
When will I be able to tell whether things can change or not? There should be something I could do to confirm it. Just shout really loud. And I suppose that if it can't happen in the end, it's a given that the version of me they saw on the 15th will end up being me. Could it be that I'll have failed to conclude whether I can change the past even by the 15th? If I haven't been able to touch Sekimeiya by then, I'll go to the tower. It just doesn't make sense that I would let everything repeat. I could prevent the recording from occurring so that Maxie and Umi aren't in danger. What if I decide to be the one who removed the handle in the storeroom and keep it so that I can leave any time? Would that make any sense? Why don't you just time travel everyone out of there and then just stay out, Lamayo? I stepped away from the door.
Is this the cliff, Falzar? It's all right. I don't mind it.
I wanted to go out again somewhere. Staying still, the mess of emotions inside me was uncontrollable. I've never heard you like this. Holy shit. Holy shit.
All right, I have forgotten. I didn't forget. I was just waiting. I'm going to forward you the voice assignments now. Ready?
Okay.
Oh, here you go.
What? Okay. What? Let me tell you what the voice assignments are, chat. Okay? Here's the voice assignments. Mouse, Shiroya. Joe, everyone else.
Oh boy. I said to Joe over the week, I said, I have a bad feeling that we're about to be trapped in Shiroya land and we're back to the land of bad pacing and it's just gonna be Shiroya over and over. And he said, really? You think so? And then I got these assignments and I said, oh, okay.
Shiroya's wild ride. Here we go.
Shiroya's wild ride. Well.
I closed the door and stood in the middle of the room, not much warmer. I still felt uneasy, so instead of taking off my shoes, I opened the door to the living room. Go check the date, girl. Girl, check the date. I couldn't even tell if I was hungry, and my thirst was dwarfed by how tired I was. I left my purse next to the bed and fell on it with the clothes I've been wearing. Check the date before you go to sleep.
Nope.
No.
Nope. Even though I'd spent a long while living alone in that apartment, I'd always had plenty of things to think about, all of which I'd ended up pushing aside. I wouldn't, by chance, remember a lottery-winning combination, would I? The only reason why I hadn't thought that seriously because I knew I didn't. Sai had mentioned using the Sekimeiya to win the lottery, but it wasn't actually that crazy of an idea. I didn't think it was greedy either. In fact, what felt selfish was not taking the chance when it was provided. Okay, Shiroya. What timeline do you think you're in now? Bad timeline. Bad timeline. What is Pyre?
I almost made a really dirty joke.
Do you want to just once as a treat? So they can spam the Mets emote? Are you sure?
No, it's okay.
Okay. Was it about the lube timeline? That's a good question.
It was, they were in the loop timeline, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
Okay. I almost made an even dirtier joke. We can't be one-upping each other like that. Okay. The lube timeline would make hiding the Sekimeiya easier? No. It had also been a while since I'd eaten anything outside. I always had to use my money well and cook at home. I guess I can do whatever I want with the money that I have. It's been duplicated. I don't know if that's how that works, Shiroya, babe. I had my purse next to me when I woke up in the hospital, so the original money is there, and I'm thinking about winning the lottery.
Couldn't bring myself to walk any farther, and I only stared into the distance from the corner. I was looking at Katsuki's house.
I like the Shiroya slice of life segment with herself. It's just Shiroya's solo slice of life.
I surreptitiously approached the door, wondering if it was simply because I would ideally overwrite time anyway. Since I planned to change the past, was there no need to make the reality I was in better? It also meant that if everything were to somehow play out as I remembered, the Katsuki I'd been with had always known that I traveled to the past and hadn't mentioned it so that it could happen. How likely was that? Honestly, it's impossible.
Highly likely. Highly likely.
Really?
Highly likely.
Do you think that he also figured out that he was in a story and lied to himself in his internal fucking train of thought to hide it too from even us?
Yeah. Absolutely.
What if Katsuki was wrong and the past can't be changed? I could change it by ringing the doorbell right now, but that's not something I want to do. Why the fuck not? Doesn't me constantly not want to do things that change the past indicate that it can't change?
No. Literally write him a note and then and have the note say, this is a weird request, but when you meet me in the hospital, say this code phrase. Like, how hard is it?
I would just ring the doorbell right now.
Well, yeah, of course, that would be easier. I don't know enough about what happened these days to do something and actually be sure I've changed the past, at least not in a non-drastic way, like by speaking to Katsuki. I could go to my hospital room and draw something on my face that I didn't wake up with. Yeah, nobody will be suspicious about seeing you in your own hospital room, girl. I love time traveling to stand outside my friend's house having social anxiety and count that as the universe telling me time travel doesn't let me change the past. Yeah, she and Katsuki really are made for each other. The time Kate said that someone from Zen had tried to steal the Sekimeiya, there's no way I'll be the person behind that, right? Would he have said so if he'd known about it? I guess if the past can't be changed and someone did attempt to steal the Sekimeiya on the 30th, I have a guarantee that I won't be caught because he didn't mention that. Oh my fuck. Is this the cliff, Felzar? It's all right. What if I draw something on the door of my apartment? I know that when I went home after waking up in the hospital, I didn't see anything. I think that was on the 8th when I came home and just slept before calling Katsuki. It's very possible that the past will only change if I intend my actions to cause a change. Is it? This means that everything I've done up until now could have always happened. If I put something on my door with the intent to change the past, that could prove it can happen. I guess it wouldn't be absolute, though. I could only be sure if it's still there on the 8th. It wouldn't be an instant confirmation. But then wouldn't she just remember that it was there and then she wouldn't,
why are they so passive-aggressive about changing the past? Just do something. Don't, theorize about drawing a big dick on your door of your apartment. Just go and call him.
I was beginning to feel a little dubious and nervous about Katsuki's assertion. Did the Sekimeiya really have the power to let someone alter the past? I'll find out right now. I just need to decide that my next action will change history. Wait, that would be very thoughtless, for God's sake. I thought of calling Katsuki Stone for a second and then hanging up. As long as I did that, the past would change. He'd never told me about a call like that. But I couldn't do it. We're getting fucking edged. Why did I travel so many days back? That doesn't make sense. Were we wrong and the time the Sekimeiya spun out of the cabinet wasn't what influenced the time travel?
I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed that both her and him have done this. Can I change the past in this fucking just wet noodle way that could just easily be explained by someone they just didn't mention the phone call or just no one heard the knock or oh my god.
I went to the kitchen. I didn't like cooking and I wasn't great at it, but I'd lately gotten used to making my own food as I didn't have many alternatives. When I'd been living at Katsuki's house, I'd only eaten by heating up prepared food that I couldn't afford. I opened the fridge and, as expected, there wasn't much to choose from. I was hungry due to walking around in the cold, so I wasn't picky. A bit of meat remained in a plastic tray. I really only kept buying it because my parents used to. I grabbed it and looked at my side. Thankfully, the frying pan was clean. I usually avoided using oil because the sizzling always started. Oh my god, sizzling always started.
What are we doing?
Part 1 of a Higurashi episode.
What?
I usually avoided using oil because the sizzling always startled me, and as a result, I'd basically stopped caring about eating things that were plain. I ignored the full bottle and heated up the empty pan for a few seconds, then I carefully placed the last pieces of meat on it and took a step back as they cooked. After staring for a few seconds back, after staring for a few steps after a while, I used chopsticks to flip the chunks of meat around, forcefully ungluing them from the surface. I added salt and spice powder, garnished them the best I could, and cut it all up. The meal looked exactly like every other time I prepared it, and I brought it to the living room. Hey, I only thought she was gonna wander around the town having stupid time travel thoughts. I didn't know we were getting this. This is what most of Fate Stay Night is like. Well, now you know you're not reading it. I left the plate on the table and sat on a cushion. This doesn't even make sense. Where are the others? Yeah, it does look good.
Scran.
I grabbed a slice of meat and brought it to my mouth. It's not good at all. Not Scran. The taste was weird, but the spice did its job at obfuscating it. Weird. Ashiya and the police were right outside the tower. If they traveled to the past, I'm sure information about that would be widespread. There's no way a bunch of people traveling through time wouldn't create an uproar. I appeared late on November 30th, where I'd been on that day. When we were in the tower, we thought about going 10 minutes back, but appearing where we'd been 5 minutes before traveling. Did something like that happen again? Maybe I appeared at 9:10 where I'd been at 9 o'clock, so my old 10 wasn't there anymore. My old self wasn't there anymore. If I showed up exactly where I was at the time, I would have replaced my old self, and now I know that didn't happen. We definitely, it's just like pages of bullshit because she's saying nothing. Oh, we're back in chapter 1. I bet we were just mistaken about the range as well. Or maybe it wasn't necessarily that. Maybe the range and the time the Sekimeiya spun out of the cabinet were related. That'd still make some sort of sense. Because again, when I touched it, it couldn't have been there for too long. Stupid Shiroya. And the range couldn't have been that large either. So the question should only be why I went so many days into the past. What if it's just random? It just does what it wants. We kind of let go of that thought because we didn't want it to be true, but it would make enough sense.
She hasn't even checked the news.
Even if Ashia members or the police are here from the future, as long as they somewhat understand what happened, there's no guarantee the events of that day will happen again.
It had been a pretty messy day. Aside from the arriving from the future aspect, I'd had many similar days that year.
Yeah, just that's one small difference.
The reason why I'd been able to relax and enjoy the tranquility was probably simple. My preoccupations were much different from the usual.
Shiroya, girl. We gotta talk. You gotta do something, man. Like, maybe get a volunteer gig. You said that there's a library nearby. Maybe they'll take volunteers. You like animal shelters around. Do you like animals? Do you like the dog? You gotta get out of the house. Even if you don't want to get a job, you gotta get out of the house. This isn't good.
I just know that her and Katsuki were made for each other after this part. Like, oh my god. I hated thinking about it, but what would I do in the future? My parents wouldn't keep sending me money for many more months. So what job could I find? You're going to win the lottery. And I was only a little interested in studying medicine, but I didn't want to move. I'd have to spend years and years pursuing it. Of course, it was expensive too, so I felt I had to completely discard the idea. What I had to do was very important. I had to erase Mia's death and make sure Katsuki wouldn't go to the tower. If I could travel to the past and win the lottery, I would do it. If it wasn't an answer I never imagined, but it was perfect.
And all invested in moon tourism.
It's almost perfect. There's this huge problem. The past can be changed, but the way it happens, even if I am able to save Mia, 2 versions of myself will remain. I have to assume that's how it'd work. It's the most logical answer, isn't it? Neither of us would blink out of existence. And here it goes. Here it goes. Now she's going to realize that she has to make sure that this version of herself and the past version of herself go through the loop, and it's a future version of herself that has to be there, and then it just everything leads to that. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. What would I do? Claim my lottery prize and go live on the other side of the world while the other version of me stays with Katsuki and Mia? Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want that. It sounds ridiculous too. Sounds awesome. Is there even a solution here? Bash
the other version of yourself over the head to give her anime amnesia, and then when she wakes up, tell her that you're her twin and she's estranged from your parents, and then give her a bunch of money to go live on the other side of the world, and then just send her away.
What could go wrong?
If we're gonna go through all 14 days of this like this, I'm gonna have a problem. Thank you, Ironwrath, for gifting a tier 1 sub to Sekimeiya. Appreciate that, Ironwrath. And thank you, Weeby, for saying 100 line pacing is this, but for 200 hours. Do you still want to stream it?
Subathon is looking more and more likely as time goes on.
I've read this myself, and chapter 3 is genuinely my favorite chapter. I'm sorry. You got to know about me that I cannot deal with pacing like this. I don't read Fate Stay Night. I don't read 100 line. This is not my thing.
If I'm doing it, your boy's getting paid. Like, just, I don't know. I languidly reached for my phone again and opened it. On the screen was an icon that I hadn't clicked on for a very long time. It said browser. The results all appeared at once. I glanced at all of them hastily, reading common pages titled in blue, reporting Ashiya's announcement on the 29th. Wait, what's this? The Sekimeiya incident might happen soon? It was the very first entry. Below it, in gray, I read the creation date. Written on the 24th of November. Did I find it? Here we go.
So did this thread always exist? Did the event still occur when the Sekimeiya's existence had been foreseen days before its announcement because nobody saw this? Did this person not try to make waves once it was announced? Shiroya! How have you not fucking realized that this answers your question about whether the past can be changed? You stupid girl! I felt a little dizzy after reading all of that, probably thanks to not having eaten much the previous day. Sapped of energy, I got out of bed and steadied myself.
All right, the part's over. Time for a slice of life. Here we go.
Yay! I picked out some fresh clothing and stepped to the bathroom.
I grabbed my personal living room in the entrance. I made sure I wasn't forgetting anything and picked up my keys. I had my wallet too, so I put on the boots and coat I'd left next to the door. It wasn't snowing that day either, and my street seemed empty.
I went down the stairs and walked ahead. The direction was the same I'd taken the previous day, but Sidnock was located before the center of Yashibana. She didn't see the drawing on her door when she left. I recognized the wide tire marks on the snow. Once a week, the garbage truck would pass through my street to collect the grouped up cans farther ahead. I guess the lady at the store also knows me. I didn't know her name or if she was the owner of the place or just a cashier, but she was usually there when I went. I wonder if she'd say anything, as I'd never really spoken to her.
This is our punishment for complaining that we didn't get to hear Shiroya at all in chapter 1.
It is our hubris. I get tired of these. It's the only thing I buy. They're all instant noodles. I frowned a little, but there was nothing to worry about. On the 8th, I'd gone home from the hospital, but it had been late, and I'd eaten a little before leaving. I didn't think I'd checked the kitchen where I could have seen my food supply. And even if I did, I could simply be changing the past now. It keeps occurring though. I went to buy food without the intention to change the past, and it happened to match what I already lived through once. Maybe it really is correct that everything will happen as it did if I don't purposely think about changing anything.
You saw the fucking forum post.
I sighed, picked up a few packs of instant noodles without any special flavoring, and wandered around the shop. I hadn't grabbed a cart, so I soon found myself carrying noodles, cookies, milk, chips, almonds, and my favorite cereal bars. Amateur? What the fuck?
Girl dinner for sure.
I should get meat, too. I felt a little reluctant to buy more after the 2 nasty pieces I'd eaten. I stared through the transparent door of the fridge. I didn't feel like looking at the eggs, so I scanned... So I scanned the scarce meat that was there.
That took me a minute. Can't blame her.
I guess I just have to heat these up. After she handed me the receipt, I put everything in the bag and walked out. This is all this was. Okay? Did someone appear in her apartment while she was gone? Like, what is this? I tried to... Is this a different sprite? It is, isn't it? Yeah.
It is,
This
yeah.
different image? Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to simply wait for the noodles to cook, but it was hard not to remember what I'd read.
We're gonna have 12 of them. 12 different meals. Coming up.
Please don't. They were good and not too hot either. So I continued.
Great.
The issue with those packets of ramen was that there wasn't much in them. It only took me about a minute to finish. I tried not to wolf it down so fast, but it had at least been what I needed because my mind started regaining some focus soon after beginning to eat. You okay? Maybe I could try to figure out who posted that thread. Did you really? I walked to the kitchen and left the bowl in the sink. I still felt hungry, so I took the chocolate cookies I'd bought out of the cabinet.
Wow.
Okay, yay! If I find the person behind the thread, maybe I could speak to them. They could still have important information if they merely traveled from outside the tower. It's also possible other people will try to get in touch with them now that Sekimeiya has been announced officially. These cookies are chocolate chunk instead of chocolate chip, and they're my favorite. There were a number of reasons why discovering their identity would potentially be useful, even if one of them was correct. That was enough.
Hey, chocolate chunk goes hard.
It does. This is why you're meant to give your character a talking head that hangs on your butt or a doll that hangs like on your crotch or something to talk to. Like, it's always good to have 2 people in every single scene. It's very rare that you can get away with just solo scenes, man.
Joe is complaining that Shiroya doesn't have a Morgana.
Fuck. I should be able to enter his house when he's out.
If we get through this, hello chinchillas. If we get through this and it's just like the wrong building and it's a complete dead end and this entire day 3 was just wasted, I'm going to become the Joker. I'm going to lose my mind.
Thinking about the movements I've made the previous day, an important connection arose in my mind. I wouldn't be able to save Mia, and I would remain in a world with 2 versions of myself. The only way to make the latter work would become impossible as well, as I wouldn't be able to go back in time with any winning lottery number. Sorry, this is a joke for any people from my audience in the chat. This is the fucking Life is Too Strange facial animation reviewer. It's fucking tier bullshit right now. It just keeps bringing back the fucking lottery number. Does this pretty much mean that I have to go to the tower as soon as possible, find the Sekimeiya and somehow activate it to go days back?
Yes, go do it.
That could easily go wrong in so many ways. What if I stay in front of the tower permanently to see what Zin do with the Sekimeiya once they steal it? This could also very easily end up being a mistake, and there's no way I could do it.
Has she been like copying the lottery numbers down, by the way? Like, it's describing literally everything else that she's doing, but like she hasn't copied down the lottery numbers that she's so obsessed with. What's her
She
plan?
doesn't even check the news.
She hasn't even
Is it
checked the
likely-
news.
I took my phone out and looked at its screen. Then I peered into the distance toward the tower. Yeah, it has to be this street. The entrance was locked, and I couldn't see anyone nearby. Next to the door, below the sign, was a panel with 4 numbers and 4 buttons to press. Should I try to ring the bell? It could be any of the 4.
Ring all of them and then go hide behind one of the cars and watch all the people who come out. You don't.
There's a phone number. Maybe I should call it instead.
I'm a lot better at doing crimes than Shiroya is what I'm learning.
Hello, what's your name?
Shiroya doesn't even make up I heard this is a mystery, VN. What's the mystery now? The mystery is how long chapter 3 is.
Do you like it? He opened the door to a bedroom.
Yeah, that's a big bed.
As I said, everything you see is a fixture. It's a part of the package.
Streamer's so bored they can't say the word big is true.
When we'd seen all of them, we ended up at the front door. Oh, I know we haven't spoken about price. I can be a bit flexible. Right now, the set price is $42,000 a month. But you'll need to make an initial deposit of $126,000. How does that sound? If only. Maybe after I win the lottery.
Perhaps I'd sharpened my senses during the hours I'd spent on edge in the tower. Nobody seemed to be behind me, but something inside me told me otherwise. The first time, I'd turned around after stopping and hadn't seen anyone. The second, I hadn't sensed anything, but I wanted to make sure.
So the guy from the apartment's following her home. And
Yeah.
and she's like picking up on it.
Or
yeah.
she's just paranoid. I was just imagining Sai's face slowly rising.
I was imagining someone in the window, the blinds,
What if there's a third Shiroya following this Shiroya debating on changing the past?
The number calling me was displayed on the back screen. I read it a couple times, wondering if I recognized it. I don't think I've ever been called by this number. Since there was no name below it, it wasn't on my contacts list. This guy looking through the window right now, holding the phone. Is it hers? Is it the right apartment? Are you Shiroya?
Huh? Yeah. Who are you?
V. What was the guy's name again? It's
Vaisude.
Vaisude. He's there.
Yeah.
It is him. You were at my place earlier, remember? My name is Vaisude. I just need to ask this first. You were in Ashia Tower during the terrorist attack on December 15th, right?
December 15th. What are you talking about?
What? You know all about it, right? That's why you came to my place.
Do not gaslight the mentally ill man, Shiroya.
Oh my god, Shiroya, you're fucking terrible. Okay, good.
I do, yeah. I was there.
Once again, there was no reason to deny it. Since I'd shown up at his place days before the 15th and been one of the people to get trapped, from his perspective, it was fair to conclude that I'd also traveled through time. Yeah, we get it. Yeah. So time traveling really is possible. I was so scared I'd lost it completely. Do you really not know anything about what happened? And what about the lottery numbers?
Mouse of the stream says to stop here. But we're having so much fun.
Okay, I need to know, if we stop here, are the reading assignments next week going to be the same?
Well, how you? I'm not promising. Not promising.
Yeah. Oh God, no. I remembered the footprints from the previous day. I didn't want to let them intimidate me, so I discarded the thought. Despite that, I knew that finding out who was responsible for them, if I could, was a fairly good idea.
It stressed
I
me
would
out
be
to think
terrified.
about it, so I simply chose not to. Fair enough.
What was wrong? No matter how much I looked around me, the absence of people wasn't normal, and even if there was no classes for some reason, Inna should have been open, and I can't check my phone because it's not allowed. I stared at the snow piling on the ground. Beyond my safe place, the white curtain extended ahead, almost like a cloud.
She needs to go Scrooge and be like, "Excuse me, sir, what day is it?"
I turned abruptly to a nearby sound. An old man was walking toward me from the wider street.
I'm sorry.
Oh? He suddenly noticed I'd addressed him and focused his expression, trying to hear my voice.
Is it normal that everything is closed? Shouldn't Ina be open already?
I've never been there, but it's true that it's usually open. You think it should be?
Yes, I think so. It's not only Ina, though. Everything's closed.
Like I said, it's very early in the morning. Ask him what time it is. I stepped farther in and looked at the multitude of pastries behind the glass as I removed my hood. Meanwhile, Darfy grabbed a few chairs from a pile in the corner and put them beside the tables. They've been sitting out all night. Ugh. What do you want? These are all recently baked. What do you mean recently baked? Ha! I pointed at the same chocolate covered one I'd had before, unaware of its name. I heard before that eating warm pastries wasn't healthy and to always wait for them to cool off, but I was too hungry to care.
What?
Okay.
You heard what?
You also doesn't drink tap water?
You heard what?
No tap water, cold pastries.
Someone has to doesn't know how
warm
to
my
cook
stool
meat.
up before I sit in it. Doesn't know how to cook meat. Yeah, like. Okay, I need you to take over for a while. Sorry, I need you to take over for a while.
Why?
I can't do it.
You can't do it? Okay.
Oh,
okay.
I can't be a Shiroya for any longer in a row than I ever just was.
You made it like 20 minutes. You made it through 20 minutes of Shiroya. I kind of should I read this in like the most brain off like Valley Girl voice? Like it's just
it would fit. Yeah, it would fit.
I waited a bit for the coffee to cool off and started to drink it. I finished it in a few sips. Seconds later, I began to notice a faint headache, a frequent side effect coffee had on me. Do you have any water?
Okay, you have to stop doing the voice.
Okay. You don't like it?
That is not the problem.
Okay,
water?
all
Yeah,
right.
of course.
Okay, there we go. Can we look at what the newspaper she read said? Mia was the only casualty of a local gas explosion. It doesn't matter what the fucking newspaper said if she went to another timeline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck me.
So the Katsuki she saw in that building is also a time traveler that also shouldn't be there, and who is also sitting there being like, I should go see Shiroya, but I don't really want to. Like, I don't know what's going to change anything, and I should go. They're both having the exact same fucking thought. It's just everything is just the egg room all over again. Oh, egg chair room. Sorry. Fucking hell.
I have a headache.
I was thinking that I wouldn't at all mind letting you work here a few hours a week. Would you be interested? It'd give you something to do, and you wouldn't have to depend exclusively on your parents if she gets a job in the time between now and going back into the tower. I swear to God.
We're about to do a 7-hour stream just to get through it. I'll be leaving. How much is it?
What? You still think you have to pay?
Just tell me. I'll feel bad about coming so often if I don't pay. Okay, I feel that one.
That one, really? I didn't even register that one. Holy shit.
Time was passing with no progress being made. No shit. Every time I questioned what to do, the same fundamental bifurcation emerged. I needed to know what I wanted. Can I not do it? Is it actually impossible to decide? Maybe for you, Shiroya. It shouldn't be, right? Even if I don't like any of the choices, there has to be one I prefer. If they're all equally bad, then I can just choose one to stick to, can't I? I could just decide my entire life like that.
Wow.
I need to do it, and this is when. I'm stretching out the time I have too much, and I could end up immensely regretting it at any point. Finally stepped out and inspected the dark windows. If I didn't care about changing the past again, trying to reach Isla's friend was the right call.
She's fucking Chidi from The Good Place, man.
Oh my god. But of course I cared. I couldn't suddenly press a button that would influence my whole life. No. I looked at the way I'd come from. Nobody was there. I could see my footprints coming toward me, so I quietly traced them, peeking at the previous street. Again, nobody was in sight. I'd felt the same sensation as the day before. I didn't know if I'd noticed a sound or a movement, but my head had suddenly turned to that corner. I looked at the ground, but many footprints were there, and due to the falling snow, it was hard to tell which were recent. Is it just me? It's not, right? Yesterday, someone was definitely following me. Did I only imagine it this time? I looked left and right, confirming I was alone. I still felt that Vaisude might have followed me, but he wouldn't do it again. Could it be Isla? No, the footprints I saw yesterday belonged to an adult. I tried to compose myself and walked farther into the street. I should just leave. I'm not going to be able to ring the bell for fuck's sake. I felt a deep unease at the concept of someone watching me from a distance. I couldn't understand why they would, and it put even more pressure on me. I was still fairly hungry and far from my apartment, but if I went home in a straight line, I'd have to go through all the deserted streets before getting back to the center. I didn't want to do that if someone was observing me in secret. I was close to the outskirts, so instead of going back, I kept on ahead. You made a good decision to not be reading during this part.
Yeah, do you want me to take over?
No, it's okay. I can do a little more.
Okay.
When the curved street came to an end and the short houses stopped, the sight to the tall mountains was wide open. I was at the start of the mountain range, close to the valley that led out of Yushibana. I hadn't seen anyone yet, and there were barely any footprints around. If I'd been followed again, I had surely gone the opposite way. I spun in place, confirming again that nobody was there. I doubted anyone was watching me based on where I was. The only place they could be hiding was within some covered windows, fairly far away. Noticing the slight weight on my head, I shook off the snow piled on it. Then I kept walking, my boots sinking deeply into the snow. The path outlining Yushibana was not well maintained. Tall weeds dominated it, unfazed by the snow. I'd learned to avoid coming back from Katsuki's house through that route, as it tended to be hard to traverse. I'm afraid that somebody might be following me, so instead of walking on streets where other people are likely to be so that I feel safe, I'm going to go in the hard to traverse, isolated woods.
Yep.
Ahead.
She's
Yes,
so
Chat
smart.
just said this. Yeah.
She's gonna study medicine. Yeah.
All around me, I could only see dried bushes covered in white and tall trees scattered around. I knew the mountains were frequently visited, but I couldn't make out any indications of people having been there.
Not only would Mia have rung the doorbell, she would have gone in and killed Isla just to see what would happen. She's like, yeah, let's see. What can I change? What's
Can
gonna?
If I rip off her arm, will it be gone in the tower in my memory?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Would we ever go
In fact,
up?
anything happen? The most important thing is that Shiroya got a job offer at the cafe. Smash. Oh, wait. Step aside and wait out the days is the canon one for... No.
No, it's top first, right? Top first is the fucked up one, right?
We always do top one? Are you sure?
we always do top first. Is that what we do? Top first? Do the bad choice? Top first. Top
first.
Weeby says top first.
Yeah, top first.
Okay.
Top first. I remember. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I'm wrong. Top first.
If I press this button, do we have to watch 10 more days of Shiroya procrastination? Is that the bad ending is 6 more hours of Shiroya?
Oh.
Yes, and it's in real time now.
More precisely, her surroundings at that moment didn't remotely resemble a mountain. What? They were dark and eerie. The person closest to her was someone she'd never spoken with. Why? Because she was in the prison a whole time. This world had not been frozen, but modified for convenience and familiarity. Ordinarily, this shape would be unlikely to be constructed, but it is needed to emphasize certain aspects. Where is Shiroya now, and how did she get there? What the fuck is going on, Mouse? So what should she do? She hadn't eaten much, so her head started to feel a little cloudy. She's hungry a lot in this sequence. Distracted, she jumped when a sudden noise came from behind her. She turned around and saw a still car in the middle of the road. Its driver burst out and dashed to the front.
It's Sai.
Oh my god, are you okay? Hey. From farther ahead, Shiroya started, terrified. However, a parked car prevented her from seeing what was on the snowy asphalt. What the fuck? I barely tapped him. Don't fucking tell me. Finally, after she processed what she'd heard, she stepped forward and looked beyond the parked car. Sure enough, she knew the person lying on the snow who was being forcefully shaken by his shoulders. Of course she did. On top of all the bright blood soaking into the snow was the person she knew most well, the person she'd gone to the tower with, and her last friend. Yeah.
That's the end of my story. Katsuki got ran over because all I do is overthink and went to Shiroya jail. I'll never know what happened in that cold winter night at Ashiya Tower because as far as society knows, I'm just an overthinker.
1 hour later.
Okay, this was weird. Kind of digging it though, but that was weird. I feel like we just got a lot of information.
We just got so much fucking information. Now back to the good part. Get out. No. I managed to feel a bit of sweat forming on my palms despite the overwhelming cold. Depending on who it was, I might have had to act sooner than I expected. What if it's Katsuki? Like the one who got run over by the car. What if he is just following her around?
Is. Yeah.
You're just
And
spying
he's having
on
the
her.
same internal monologue about I should go and talk to her. I need to make a decision. What if I go? What if I change this thing? It just yeah.
Chapter 4, Shiroya City again, but from Katsuki's perspective.
Oh my god! Please don't
Speedrun
joke.
rage quitting
No.
a visual novel, any percentage. Frowning, I sprinted back the way I'd come toward a blue smudge way ahead. Is that... It immediately became visible. It was a police officer. Sorry, did you just arrest someone?
Yes. What's the matter?
I was feeling like someone was following me just now. Could it have been this person? The man frowned and took out a tiny scrapbook.
What's your name?
Mine? It's Shiroya Murana, you dumbass. He looked at me and silently wrote on the paper. Then he suddenly smiled, completely shifting his expression.
I see. You can stop worrying then. If you think you are being followed, there's nothing to be afraid of.
What? Can you let me see their face? He looked at the black window.
No, I'm not allowed to do that. What?
What about their name or the reason for arresting them?
You can stop worrying. Believe me, right now I'm not allowed to tell you any of that, but just wait for when it's made public.
I tried to produce some way of coercing him into telling me more, but I couldn't come up with anything.
I have to hurry. Don't hesitate to contact us if you feel you're being followed again, but I don't think you'll have any more problems.
I hate writing conceits like that. I hate them. I looked by my feet. The tire marks came from far away, and next to them was a group of footprints.
Who do you think is like slamming on the windows right now, being like, Shiroya, it's me! Who do you think is inside?
It's gotta be Katsuki. Someone following me had only thrown me further into disarray. I couldn't put into words why I'd felt again that they'd been watching me, but it was possible their goal had really been to learn where I lived. I was far beyond the point of assuming they only wanted to confirm who I was. I removed most of the water from... I removed most of the...
It's okay. It's all right. We'll get through it. We're getting through it.
Please skip to Thursday. Please, for the love of God, skip to Thursday. Please skip to Thursday. Please skip to...
I went and had a shower before bed. I felt like it would relax me.
Oh,
what? So is she gonna go see Isla? Is she gonna go see Katsuki, or is she gonna go to the hospital, or other?
I think
Place your bets
Isla.
now.
I think Isla.
Isla? Okay. I think Katsuki.
No!
No!
I'm slumped so far down in my chair right now, and I am not sitting up, so sorry for the audio quality on me.
I'm so interested. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll lock in for both of us. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. The machine wasn't too spacious, so I could only pick out part of the basket. Once I'd filled it with the top half, I pushed the round door shut and poured in a bit of laundry detergent. I have an irrational hatred for front-loading washing machines. I think they're just unnecessarily dangerous. Like, why would you make it so water could like leak out of the side of the thing instead of like having it like be top loaded, and if it fails, at least there's like there's no way the water can get out the door. You know what I mean? Like, that's why. Yeah.
Also, it's
I have a
easier for like
front-loading
a
one
kid
here.
to climb in there.
Yeah, or a cat or something. Yeah. You know, it's got seams on the bottom right. Yeah, but they fail. Things can fail. I ended up sitting on the carpet. I was trying to calm my nerves, but as soon as I made my attempt to stop thinking, it became incredibly difficult.
You're talking to the guy who doesn't own a plunger because his toilet simply won't break, Lamau. Okay, so like, this is not a rational conversation.
This is why escalators are better than elevators. If an elevator breaks, you're fucked. If escalator breaks, they're stairs. So it's like, it's just better, you know? No, I meant the top loaders. They've got seams on the bottom, so the leak goes on the floor anyways. But they'll have it too. The front loaders have those as well, surely. They have the same kind of like thing that fills with water. I don't know why we're doing this. I do know, actually, because we're easily distracted. I wanted to go out again somewhere. Staying still, the mess of emotions inside me was uncontrollable. I've never heard you like this. Holy shit. Holy shit.
They wanted to know why I won't let them redeem visual novels for my game redeems, and it's because we'd end up with some shit like this, because they're gonna redeem Fate Stay Fuck or whatever, and then it's gonna be fucking 30 years of this with like one anime fight every once in a while. There's just no fucking way. Okay.
Fate Stay Fuck. I watched the seconds tick until 4 zeros filled the screen. Then I grabbed the plastic handle and opened the door. I placed a blue bucket below it and dropped the compact wet mess of clothes in it. I dragged it to the wardrobe as well. I didn't have a dryer, so since the outside was freezing, I had to use a foldable washing line with the help of the heater. I made room on the floor and opened it up, proceeding to grab the pieces and hang them individually. They weren't too wet, so I kept crouching and using as few of my scarce clothespins as possible. Why did they do this? What the fuck? I took out a pretty blue and white shirt. I figured that I was still pretty tired since I thought I'd left it out of the washer due to the bad memories it brought. But I still hung it properly and kept going. I was about to reach for the front door, but I walked to the kitchen instead, remembering the garbage bag where I'd thrown the cereal wrappers. It was almost full, so I made a knot with the bands and returned. Then I realized that my phone wasn't charged, so I went and plugged it in. I gotta sit here for 30 minutes for it to get the first on a battery. I thought about putting some fucking instant noodles that, even though they're called instant noodles, still take 3 minutes to cook in the pot, but the pot was dirty, so I watched the pot, meticulously scrubbing it with first the brush and then wiping it down. Then I put the water in, I watched it boil. Then I put the noodles in, I ate the noodles. So I went back to the TV because I couldn't watch anything on my phone, so I have to watch the TV. Here's a news article that has absolutely nothing to do with what the fuck is going on right now. Oh shit, my clothes are dry. Maybe I put those on. Oh yeah, my phone. I was gonna leave, wasn't I? Oh here. Oh, what about the lottery numbers? Better do another test to see if I can remember them. 25, 30, fucking 11. Oh shit, I don't. Better look at that note again and memorize it.
Have you guys ever been in a Discord call where someone just narrates everything they do and they'll be like, okay guys, I think I'm gonna go downstairs and do the dishes now. Oh shit, look, I left my fucking phone down here. I didn't even remember I did that. Oh shit, I gotta do my gotcha dailies. Y'all, like the pulls are so strong right now. Oh hey, it's my cat. Hey cat. Oh my god, guys, like I have to take my cat to the vet. It's time for their shots and I don't know what to do because you know, like it's like a really rough time of year to travel. Anyway, oh yeah, I was gonna go do the dishes. It's like that. No, I've never had people who like me enough to want to share their life with me. What kind of false equivalence fucking bullshit is? What do you mean? Joe, I'm so close to breaking.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm right there.
It's okay. I can't carry the ring, Mr. Frodo, but I can carry you. It's okay. The cold is still biting, but I'd come to expect it by that point. Stepping with satisfying crunches, I went down the stairs. The sky had cleared completely, and the street seemed especially bright. I walked the opposite way as usual, toward the garbage bins. They were at the very end of the street, past the curb that could be seen in the distance. I'm actually at the point now where I've expected every single time something happens that it's like misdirections, so when we return to normalcy, like something big happened. Like I was expecting something to happen when we got back from the lottery store, that someone broke into her apartment, but now I'm like, I really understand that she's literally just taking
like
the garbage out. She's just taking the garbage out. Nothing will come of this. Tomorrow, I'll definitely have to take our tickets, no matter how. It might not be as much of a party as I thought, though. If I find the Sekimeiya in the tower and enter it during the night, I'll either travel through time or be caught by the police. If I travel through time, taking our tickets won't matter because they'll change the past. But if I get caught by the police, there's no way Katsuki won't learn about it. I'm not sure what would happen to my other self, but I doubt she and Katsuki would just go to the tower on the 15th. I would still do it, just in case. For the time being, I simply kept going over the lottery numbers in my head. I was slowly approaching my apartment. When I was getting close, I saw footprints I'd left earlier, but again, it seemed that the previous days weren't there. However much my steps left impressions, it was clear that they were all bound to eventually fade. Poetry. Of course, it was warm inside my apartment again. I shrugged off my coat almost immediately. Instant noodle time! Noodles. I looked at my phone. It was 2:04.
Oh my god, we're only at 2? Okay.
There was nothing else I wanted to do for the day.
Skip.
So I went to the kitchen after a long pause.
Skip.
As much as I disliked the idea of eating noodles again, I had nothing else. I didn't want to go buy food again because I just feel like I was doing something else in Yushibana for the last time. Like the day before, I washed the only pot I had and boiled a bit of water before dropping a stiff block of noodles in it.
This is gonna seem like I'm being dramatic, but I'm completely serious. I need to go get some medicine for the headache that I have, so give me just 2 minutes. I actually do have a headache. I need to be right
Okay,
back.
good luck.
Sorry.
Good luck.
Sorry.
Good luck. It's okay.
Ronnie says, yeah, I love BDSM, the boring diary of Shiroya Murana. I have to +2 it. I have to +2 it. I was about to drop the packaging of the noodles into the trash. But I remembered I'd thrown out the bag earlier. I took the roll out of a drawer and placed a new empty bag in the corner. I thought back on the tickets and looked inside my purse. I'd left both of them there, so I threw them in the garbage as well. Are you okay? I went. Just got here. Is the way she threw things in the trash important? It'll make sense 28 hours from now, whenever Sai gave the Sekimeiya to Isla, and she used the Sekimeiya and came back and took the tickets out of the trash because she went dumpster diving, and that's how they went in anyway. I went back to sit on one of the scattered cushions. I miss Sai. As much as I felt incredibly overwhelmed, I was out of things to think about. Eventually, I dropped on the floor and emptily let time pass. And then we skipped to Thursday. And then we skipped to What the hell was I thinking? I'd had to keep so many things in mind that I couldn't really be surprised I'd made such a large oversight. Oh boy! I took Isla and Arena's tickets to prevent them from going to the tower on the 15th. It sounded like a good idea because they could have sold out quickly. I completely ignored that they could simply print them out again. I don't think they'd have to buy new ones. Oh. I need a minute. I sighed, exasperated. I'd never had a printer, so I hadn't thought it through. I knew Katsuki and I hadn't checked our tickets until the 14th, but we would have been able to print new ones if they hadn't been there. How the hell do I do this then?
I never had a printer. Doesn't drink tap water. Thinks you never had a printer. Doesn't think you should eat pastries when they're still hot. What the fuck?
I really didn't want to think very hard about it, but I wasn't too worried. If I got caught by the police, Katsuki and I probably wouldn't go to the event, but if I wasn't able to find the Sekimeiya, I'd have to think of something else. Maybe a note wasn't a horrible idea, or I could break his printer. just sneaks in with a hammer and just sucks There had to be at least one way to stop Katsuki and me from going. And Arena and Isla. If I'm not able... And then she can break Arena and Isla's printer too. It's just gonna go... They live close to each other. They're just gonna go around in a 2-block area, breaking into people's houses, smashing their printers. She breaks into the local library. and then go on.
And then she goes home and makes her fucking noodles and comments about how it's warm. And after eating noodles, she lays down. And then we see the same fucking lights on the ceiling again. And she says, God, I'm so stupid. They could just buy another printer.